I'm not ready for this.
Nope, you're not. I don't know if you're insinuating that you're giving yourself a blowjob or not.
stupid visual jokes in a audio world.
Hey, I have a question for you.
What's your question?
Um,
While I try to
if
get everything together.
if Tony Stark said something contradictory, would that still be considered irony?
Uh, yes. That's. I'm pretty sure that's the exact definition, actually.
Well, I mean, for him, would it be Iron Man-y?
It could be Iron Man-y, actually, now that you say it like that, but I don't think so.
Hmm,
Let's see.
that's too
Live
bad.
to trolls at this link, aka Samus Gorobo's YouTube stream. Alright. Boom. Wow, I can't believe it. This is a really boring intro. I'm Travis.
I blame the liberal media.
Oh, jam. What a bunch of bastards. Yeah,
You
should I
know,
Facebook that we're live to? Sure.
without like getting too far into politics, it's kind of funny to me that um, liberals are often called snowflakes, and they're the ones stouting the whole climate change thing. Like there's less of it now.
I mean, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. If you get upset, you should melt. The
Yeah.
only reason you should be upset is physical harm on somebody else. I don't give a shit if you're right, left, words. Be excellent to each other. As Ted Esquire. Fuck, I cannot think of their correct names. I'm a complete and total internet failure today. 100%.
Ted Theodore Logan and Bill S. Esquire.
Yes, Bill S. Esquire.
We are the Wild Stallions. Yeah. I couldn't do that or else I'd throw the phone somewhere.
This is not whatever that was. This is Two Trolls and a Brew, a podcast about Magic the Gathering. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Samus. He's Travis. He's your other host. This is, you once again updated the episode number, I assume, when you updated the title.
Yes.
Episode 85. Damn you, dyslexia. Damn you to hell. 50 Shades of Grey Merchant. Like me where my flesh falls off. Subtitle, you need a guest host for next week. That's a weird subtitle. But anyway.
Also, it's your heads up.
It's my heads up. Surprise! That's fine. We'll figure it out. It won't be that big of a deal. Troll cards this week are Blackmail and Pouncing Cheetah. Yeah. Those are both Magic the Gathering cards.
Yes.
So should we go straight to draft, or do we want to talk about the troll cards?
Okay, so my troll card is actually like because of the title. So
that makes sense.
I was a few weeks ago. I was playing Mardu tokens in Modern, and then dropping a pack rat on turn 2, and him not having an answer, and then me just constantly making a pack rat every turn or so, and him still just trying to pick everything off. It really made me want to play the Mono Black Devotion deck again.
Oh, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. And as you know, the Grey Merchant is the key swing point in that deck. But also, a control deck requires, some sort of removal or disruption. And Thoughtseize is really expensive. You know what's not expensive? Blackmail.
At Thoughtseize? Oh.
And it has a white border, so it puts people on tilt.
Okay. So bad Thoughtseize, can we call it
Well,
bad mail?
see, and I don't necessarily want to say that it's a bad thought seize because you can force them to discard lands if they reveal lands.
Sure. Sure.
Like I was playing against someone and he didn't realize like so he skimmed over the card as most people do and they're like, okay, reveal three cards, discard one. Like and most discard effects make you discard a non-land card.
That's true.
So he didn't realize that. So he revealed the two lands that he had in his hand. So he revealed I think it was the Tarmogoyf, a fetch land, and then a Ghost Quarter. And I'm just like, well, I have a Fatal Push in my hand, so I'm not worried about Goyf. Ghost Quarter will my swamp, which 23 swamps anyway, so it's not going to affect me at all. So I'm going to get rid of this fetch land. So I was like, all right, discard the fetch land. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, get rid of that. He goes, hold on, let me read that card again. So he reads it. He's like, oh, man, I just screwed myself. I'm like, well, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Blackmail's a good card, but it's no Thoughtseize.
Well, that is very true. I'm not going to disagree with that. But at this time, I don't have Thoughtseize, so I'm going to use Blackmail.
That's fair. I mean, I think they both fit in different slots, right?
Yeah.
And you can mix and match the numbers down the road, or you can use some stuff when you eventually get them, or what's the other one that people like to use?
IOK.
IOK.
Yeah, Inquisition of
Inquisition of Kozilek. There you go.
Yeah.
I was getting there. Also, real fast.
I'm okay.
I'm okay. Real fast, I want to shout out to the people watching live on the Facebook stream. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Sean says he loves Blackmail and Standard sucks. And Brandon.
Which Sean?
Cabral.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Brandon says that he wants us to have more guests on the show and that he concurs that I'm the best.
Oh, well, Brandon's halfway a liar.
I'm pretty sure that he's just assuming that I'm the best.
Oh, well, his assumptions are wrong.
I mean, I kind of am the best. Not at Magic or video games or streaming or living or breathing, but I'm a poop master. Nobody makes poop like me.
I think that might be a challenge because sometimes I eat Taco Bell just so I can poop more.
Man, I feel like we're about to go down a really dark rabbit hole. I've told you the story where a friend...
I see what you did there, a dark hole.
Where a friend of mine sent me a text message picture, and it was like white stuff and like this orange thing and all this green. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like looking at it forever, like trying to figure it out. And I'm like, I don't understand what this is. And he texted me back that he shit in the forest, and that was him burying his shit. And then once he pointed it out, you completely realized he sent me a picture of his poo. Like, unburied, there it is. I'm like, oh. So now I owe him. One of these days I'm going to send him an inappropriate picture that hopefully he will artistically not be able to figure out what it is.
Oh, well, if you wanted artistic, you shouldn't have said that.
And I'm just going to be like, that's a pile of my jizz on top of a bloody rag.
Because the other day, man, I thought there was a tree in my toilet.
I thought one time I had to go all the way around the toilet bowl. Wow, did we get off track? So
thanks a lot, Brandon.
So Blackmail's a fine Magic the Gathering card. My troll card this week is Pouncing Cheetah. And Pouncing Cheetah in and of itself is a fine card, right? It's a 3/2 flash for 3. I think it's 3.
Yes.
Yes. It's no King
Cheetah. It's like King Cheetah, except better.
Exactly. Better in every single regards. But the most important piece of text Okay, so this thing has flash, right? Which is good. The most important piece of text is cat, creature type cat.
Right.
And the reason that's important is because I opened the Mana Dork again. Channel initiate. Channel
Okay.
initiate. Whatever. I don't even care. F you words. And so I'm like, all right, I'll be base green and start taking these green cards. And I end up with a couple of pouncing cheetahs. And pack 2, I'm not really paying that much attention, but I open up my rares, Regal, Cat Lord, whatever. I don't give it an S.
Caracal.
Cat Lord. And I'm like, I mean, I could splash white. I mean, I didn't really have any other splash going on or whatever. I'm just like, whatever. I'll be green and white. It's fine. So I took the Cat Lord thing, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I go through the draft, and we'll get into some details later. But basically, I end up with the Cat Lord and these pouncing cheetahs. And so pouncing cheetah's real good when you can flash it in as a lifelinking 4/3 in this limited environment. Like, I don't know how good it is on its own, but if you have a Cat Lord there, they're pretty sweet. Also, the same thing can be said for the 2-drop guy. The Untapper. Initiates Companion.
Yes.
That thing is really good as a 2-mana 4/2 that untaps a thing. That also has a lifelink. So, yeah, the cat synergies are real. I did not intentionally draft it. Right? I mean, I drafted the cards on purpose, but I did not think about the fact that I had a Cat Lord and all these cats.
Right.
Just amazing. So much fun. Especially when I'm like sitting there doing stuff and I'm like, all right, well, I have 3 cats on the field, or 2 cats, and I go, oh, and this pouncing cheetah's a cat. I think I can ambush somebody for a ton of damage. And I did, and it was awesome. So I'm giving the pouncing cheetah the nod this week. Also, a lot of fun this week. Approach the Second Sons. A very fun Magic the Gathering card. So this week I ended up Bant. My deck was like double Cartouche from Knowledge, a Renewed Faith, a Spring to Mind, which is also very good. I'm becoming more impressed with this card in particular.
Yeah.
Especially like in these Bant thingies or whatever. Fix your mana, and then end of turn, if they don't do anything, draw a card.
Draw 2. No, draw 2.
Draw 2. Double Scribe of the Mindful. Again, to regrow something. Mostly the Approach to the Second Sun.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? I had a Gift of Paradise. I had a Shafet Monitor. I had the combo. I had the Scale Behemoth. The big hexproof monstrosity. So you like put the aura on that thing and just go to town, like the flying evasion guy.
Gross.
Yeah. Shafet Monitor and a Greater Sandworm is like my finishers. Another card, though, that was actually very good is this Ankh-Cropped Champion. He's a 4/4 human warrior for a white, a green, and 2. And if you exert him, when he attacks, you can untap everything else. So I was able to live the dream for a quick second. I was able to, I think I had him and the cat, the 3/2 guy or the 3/1 guy. I was able to exert, untap all my dudes, and then use the cat's ability to untap him to do it twice. So I don't know. Overall, I thought my deck was really good. I ended up taking down the draft 4-0, but I had a couple interesting decisions that I kind of wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
So I had the option of doing Stinging Shot as a combat trick type effect in my deck that has some extra give to it That is the put 3 -1/-1 counters on target creature with flying, cycling 2.
Right.
Or here it is over here. The instant that untaps the guy, draw Dare Juice Resolve, D-Juice,
Yeah.
D-Juice,
Right.
Digga-Digga-Doo,
No. Yeah, the fake word.
Digga-Digga-Dee.
Jeru.
Untap a creature, prevent all damage to it, also cycle for 2. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure in the vacuum which of the 2 cards was better. Deciding to err on the card that I could cast more easily because I had, I think, eight fourths in my deck and just like 4 planes. But I feel like the other card is more powerful. What do you think?
I put the white one in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you
Because
at all. I think it was close.
like it's situational which one's more powerful. Like if you have or if your opponent has flying creatures, obviously the green card's more powerful. But if you're exerting your creatures and then you still want that alpha strike or even to block like for a trick, then the white card's more powerful. But
Yeah,
either way they cycle.
Like I said, I completely agree with you. Let me just real quick here count my islands. I had 2 islands in the deck, so I had 5 white sources, 6 white sources, 2 islands, the one Shafet monitor to go get a basic, the guy that untaps, and the enchantment that you enchant land to tap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 white sources. So with 5 white sources in your deck, do you think you're still more likely to play the white card, even though in a vacuum you feel like it's slightly more powerful, or do you continue to play the green card?
No, play the white one.
Okay. All I know is about half the time I cycled them anyway.
Right.
I did, however, get somebody one time with it. Like they made their guy really big, and by really big I mean like a 4/4 or something, and attacked into my 2/2 flyer. Because I like it, or a 3/3 flyer, I enchanted something with the enchantment, so I'd have a flyer. And then what I was able to do was to stinging shot to make it a 1/1, and then block and eat their guy. So I mean, it felt like it got there. The other card wouldn't have done the same effect, but it would have drew me the same amount of cards.
Right.
So I don't know. The other really interesting thing about this draft that I kind of wanted to talk to you about in particular. So Pack 2 was really weird, right? So it turns out after the fact, the guy to my right, was in red, green, I believe.
Okay.
Right? I was obviously Bant, right? And my opponent to my left was, I think, green, blue, red. So we were all kind of battling out for green-ish. And the other side of the table were green drafters as well. So Pack 1, I started to notice that black seemed to be pretty open. Not that there were good black cards. Pretty open. So about pick 3, I think, of Pack 2. So coming back from the left. The black enchantment that says cycle a card, pay an extra 1, and you can drain them for 2. So that came, and then a ruthless sniper showed up, and then I think there's like 1 or 2 back-to-back wasteland scorpions in the pack, and then there was a shadow of the grave. Like basically this insane run of black cards all in a row.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not really this cycling deck. If this was Pack 1, I would move into it hardcore for real. I don't know who's going to end up in the cycling deck, but they're going to have some great cards. Comes all the way back around, and that enchantment shows up. And I think I ended up taking like a Scribe of the Mindful here or something. Something that I knew 100% would make my deck. Because I kind of had the feeling my deck was going to be Bant. when I picked up the Cat Lord in pack 2, I'm like, I think this card is good enough. I'm going to play it. And I already had enough good like blue cards that I figured I could just cycle into them. Or I think pick 1 was the Cat Lord and pick 2 was the Approach of the Second Sons. So I'm like, well, if this guy's not going to play Approach of the Second Sons, I'll do it. I don't even care. So I'm not sure if I should have moved into it, I guess is my problem. That late in pack 2. Is that something that, like, at what point do you go, wow, this is a signal? Not only is black totally open, which we pretty much all were joking about it, like, wow, black's super open. But the fact that nobody decided to move into that deck at all, I don't know if I should have, instead of being Bant, maybe I should have been like green-black splashing the cat, or maybe even 4 colors. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
again, I won the draft, so I feel confident about what I did, but I'm not sure if what I actually did was right.
Right. Well, I mean, if you won, then clearly it was right.
Yeah, but I think I also probably could have won if I would have taken like the run of insane black cards, because then pack 3, right? Something that, to show you how open black was, there were back-to-back Trial of Ambitions.
Okay.
I didn't take them the first time around. I picked them up on the wheel pack 3.
So literally nobody picked up on, like,
Correct.
Everybody was joking about it, but nobody was like, yeah, okay, that's correct.
Nobody was a black draft at our table.
All right,
literally nobody.
What that actually signals to me is that everyone at that table is an idiot.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, I was sitting there, so I can't disagree too much. But,
like,
I mean, it was just
maybe the reason
draft.
you won is because everybody was stupid and you have the Kitty Lord.
No, because, I mean, yes. But there were good drafters also at the table. There were really good decks. Right? Like, we had 2 people who had, like, very aggressive low-to-the-ground curves. Like, there were 2 people. We ended up having 2 draft tables that week, right? Like, 2 7s, I think, or I don't know, something. So, like, we had a kind of a weird, like, we didn't have full tables of 8, which also kind of makes things difficult sometimes. But we had experienced players, but they all have their preferences, and nobody wanted to play the control deck. Basically, is I think what happened. And normally that would be the role that defaults to me in this kind of a draft situation. But again, that's not the deck that I was opening. That was not my seat, but it could have been had I done some things a little bit differently. Pack 3 had like the Decimator Beetle, and a couple of other things, including the sorcery. It's like Bounty of Aronis or some S.
Yeah.
I can't, like, you mill 5, but you get to take a green, like a creature and an enchantment.
Right.
And I was like, well, and once I picked up the second scribe, I'm like, wow, I actually really want this card. But I didn't get it. It didn't come back. So I don't know. I wonder if what is the good signal to say move into black and move into the black now? Because had I taken the enchantment first pick, my deck would have been green black and it would have been absolutely insane. But see, like, I opened pack 1, the black instant that says exile a creature, the 5-mana instant.
Yeah.
And it didn't wheel.
Well, that's because no matter what, that's a powerful removal. So either somebody saw it and was like, I don't want to play against this.
Which is what I think ended up happening, is somebody like decided to hate it and then decided they weren't in black, which I don't understand. Again, black was
Maybe
obviously completely open at our table, just insanely open.
right. Yeah, dude. I don't know.
So I don't know either. It's hard to understand sometimes with what goes on at these tables. Um, anyhow, let's move on to a actual topic. How's that sound?
Me salting.
Salting, also about drafts, I guess. So let's hear how your salty goodness is this week.
Oh, okay. So, like, this is probably the first time in a few years where I just actually got frustrated. And I don't do that often when I'm drafting or when I'm playing in general. Like, especially when I'm playing because, I mean, it's a game and I know I choose jank things to do. So I can't be mad at the other person when I'm, being a jackass. Uh, but I was playing a green blue ramp deck. And, like, I had two Spring to Mines, two of the dudes that tap to make a two butthole mana.
Okay.
Um, and I
I can't
had,
tell you what they are, but I can.
yeah, me either, but you know
I
what they
can.
are.
I can think of them. Right.
The colorless
Premium.
green blue 2/2
Right.
makes two buttholes. Um, so I had two of those, two Spring to Mines, uh, the the cycler that gets a basic land, like the 6/5.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh, I had just rattled off his name.
right.
I like that card a lot.
And then I had like a couple river guides, uh, the 3/4 flyers that also cycle, two sacred excavations to get back my cycling stuff, and like two Colossopede, like basically just early game ramp, and then here's all the big threats. Lay claim was another thing that I grabbed. Uh, so first dude I played, absolutely just shut him down because see I was splashing red for reduce to rubble. I think that's what it's called. The one where it's a counter. It's countered unless they pay 3, and then when it's in the yard, you make it so 3 lands don't untap next turn.
Right.
Yeah, so I had a couple of those. Like just the control build was just wide open, and then the big stuff was like it was there, so I took it. Uh, so like the first game, completely destroyed the guy. Just no issue. Second game or second round, it was actually a good battle, and then the third round was a pack round, and so when we started the draft, there was half of one box, and then or it was less than half of a box, and then another box, and the store just combined the two, so that way it could finish out that set. One pod opened up aggravated assault in the invocation form,
Right.
and then the other pod opened up the invocation Bontu. Two
Okay.
invocations in one draft. I'm like, all right, that's kind of irritating. Like, I want these things. They're money. I could sell them, and they look cool. Like the artwork's amazing on them. So,
Should I tell you that I opened one of the better um, thingamabobs, whatever they're called, evocations,
no, I
out of
don't
my
care.
winnings for that last draft?
I have two of the white gods and Mind Twist.
Oh, this one was the Days, I think. Which
Ooh,
the Days
nice.
actually looks pretty good. Yeah, the Days actually looks good.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So
Your awesome pod of double evocation.
yeah, double
Get there.
evocation like BS. Um, and then so for the prize support, he was like, "Well, do you guys just want to keep going through this box, or you want to go through another one since we already opened an invocation out of here, so there is no chance you're getting one out of this box. And then we're like, no, open a new box. So we go to round 3 was a pack round, and the guy that I played, he was playing a black-white zombie deck, and he had two, the 3-drop 5/4, the Plague Belcher.
All right.
Yeah, so he had 2 of those, and the Dread Wanderer. I'm like, holy crap, this guy he got fed so much stuff. And then, so game 1, like, he almost he got me. And then game 2, I just controlled his board, and then I took his Plague Belcher that had a cartouche on it. And
I'm pretty sure you mean the Plague Beetle, right?
No, the Belcher, the 5/4 with Menace, that when it comes in, put 2 counters on a creature, and then whenever a zombie you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life.
Okay, my brain is now screaming at me that Plague Belcher is a different card. That's okay. We'll figure it out.
Well,
this Plague Belcher is like a 2/2 for 3 that does a point of damage to everybody each turn. But anyway, keep going. I'll look it up.
Yeah, so anyways, and then I was... so, I took that from him with Lycane, and then, I proceeded to just beat him from there. Game 3. Yeah, I know.
What am I thinking of?
So, game 3, it was actually
I'll sidetrack us later.
Was actually a pretty balanced game, even though I saw 16 of the 16 lands in my deck, and that's what won him the game, because if I had any sort of creature, then I would have just outpaced him, because I destroyed his I destroyed his creatures, I killed his artifact that was killing me, and I was controlling the board, even though I was seeing every single one of my lands in my deck, literally every single land. And that irritated me, because normally I don't get upset about variance like that, but this one really just triggered me. And then
triggered you like a Plague Splitter?
Yeah, sure. So, but then he's like, we're picking up our decks and everything, and I was gonna go on to the next round. I was gonna play because I was there to have fun. But then his pack that he won out of that game had the Entomb in it.
That's fine.
The Invocation.
Again, still fun.
No, that was the game was I would have won if I would have gotten the land, and that's 3 invocations in one night. And that's just
it's just a different variance game. I don't know. We often talk about how, or at least I do, how we can be better people or better players or whatever, trying to keep in mind that it's just a game, or how we're there to try to have fun and try to be good sports and stuff like this. And I'll admit, I too tend to get jealous a lot when somebody opens something that's really good, and I'm like, man, I wish I would open that, or if I would have opened it, I would have done this with it instead, or whatever. But if somebody beats me, they take something from me, suck that it's specifically because you lost that end of Magic, right? Where you don't you were playing, you were in it, right? That's what you said. You got all your lands in, you saw them all, but you just couldn't figure out. You couldn't find a way to close out the game. Like, unfortunately, that's, when you're playing a control deck like that, that's something that happens sometimes, that you can't find the way to close the game because you either have all these control elements or you got to run extra lands because you need the extra lands, so you don't miss a land drop or whatever.
But I was only running 16 lands.
Sure.
In a deck with
I understand.
I had 7 creatures that I had like 7 creatures that had like 5 power, toughness, or more.
Right.
So it's like, I want to see all those lands, but I want to see the majority of them. But I also want something to do with all those lands, and that's like what really tilted me. It's just, all right, cool. I guess I can control the game, but I still don't have any way to interact with you, so you win.
Right. Well, and again, I understand. It's frustrating. It's kind of like I did successfully Second Son, or Approach of the Second Son, a guy. Right? And it was the same way. He felt like I couldn't attack him. He couldn't attack me. We're sitting at this weird, awkward moment of the game. And I play the first Second Son. And he's like, sure. And then we put it down and we draw. And I cycle a whole bunch and I get it early. And I'm like, Second Son win? He's counterspell. Okay. Puts it in the graveyard. So I play the 2/2 that regrows it. He's like, all right, let's Magna Spray that. I'm like, okay. We wait and wait and wait. And I get another one. And I get my spell back into my hand. And he counters it or puts it on the top. Or he does something where I have to wait all over again. But I eventually just get there and cast it. And it's like, again, you have to be able to say, well, at least I played. Right? It's the games where you don't get to play that are the problem. And if someone got a good reward for beating you, then that's awesome. But it sounds like you played the games, even though like the top of your deck was not necessarily positive.
No, like it would have been good if I also got to play the game. But I didn't, so that's why I was kind of like just salty about it.
Yeah, it's tough. It can be very tough. Let's see. I moved things away after I figured out the card I'm thinking of is Plague Spitter.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, I totally knew you probably weren't wrong either, except I had to look it up because I knew you were wrong. So let's see. I have 2 more notes. No, there's 3. Is it okay to destroy an opponent if nobody likes him? What do you mean destroy?
So we were playing Commander, and
I don't have a good follow-up for that other than rubbing my head in obvious pain.
So he knows, like he knew that like before he took his hiatus from the game that Boborgamos was an awful commander to play against. And nobody likes playing against that commander in general. Like, they just don't want to play against it because it's too good.
Okay.
No, like seriously, it has probably an 80 to 90% win rate. It's just ridiculous.
I said okay.
Yeah.
I said
and
okay.
Like, so, I told him, I was like, he was there. He goes, mate, anyone want to play some commander? I'm like, I mean, if you want to play against Boborgamos, we can play. He goes, oh, that deck still? I'm like, yeah, but don't worry. I took out the swords, so it's a little bit slower. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, dude. It's like, I don't know. Like it doesn't do damage as much. And like it's easier to target him now. He goes, I mean, all right, I guess we can do it. I'm like, cool. Turn 1 burgeoning. You know what that card is, right?
I have no idea what that card is.
Okay, so it's a green enchantment for a single green mana. Whenever an opponent or whenever another player plays a land, you can put a land into your from your hand into play.
Okay.
So like turn two, I played Kadama's Reach, and then turn three, I was able to play what was it? Boundless Realms, I think is the name of it. It costs 7. You go and get like X lands for X basic lands, where X is the number of lands you control. So on turn three, I cast that and got 7 lands out of my deck. And he
Sounds
was like,
okay.
"Oh, okay. I guess you have 14 lands on turn three, and I have 2 because I played a bounce land."
So here's a quick question on this Borgamos stuff.
Yeah.
So with the Magic Online 1 versus 1 commander stuff that's going on out there, like the majority of the decks are Brawl decks.
Okay.
Is this a deck that could beat the Brawl decks?
What is the Baral deck?
It's just like your standard counterspell control deck that at some point you get a polymorph into Emrakul.
Yeah. I would say it would because like I have Cavernous Souls, so even though Baborgamos is like 1 of 4 creatures in the deck,
Right.
I generally just call Cyclops, so that way if I play against a control deck, it's just kind of like, all right, try it. But then, like, I have 4 lands that give him haste. Uh, I have an enchantment that gives him haste. I have Xenagos that gives him haste. So it's like he hits the field. If you can't interact with him, he's going to ruin you. And
I'm just curious.
yeah, no, I'm sure you could make a cheaper version than the one that I have.
Well, I don't know. So to quickly answer your question, I think first of all, it didn't sound like you destroyed him. It sounded like you beat him in a game of Magic, and you may have put him in a state of where his will was less than enthusiastic.
No. He was quite upset.
Oh,
because it's like one of the games is like, oh, here's gratuitous violence. He's like, yeah, I guess that resolves. And then I'm like, okay, next turn I play Baborgamos, and I'm like, I discard a land, take 6. I discard land, take 6. So it's like, I just discarded, 3 lands, and he took 24 points of damage, and then I brought them all back with life from the loam. So it's like, he just, he couldn't do anything.
So, well, anyway, I guess my point is that anytime he could have picked up his cards and left.
Yeah.
So he was continuing to sign on for this one-sided beating.
Right.
Whether he thought he could eventually get there or whether or not he felt like he could do something. So like a couple of weeks ago, we were playing the mini leagues, right? And all I brought to play that night was mini leagues before the draft.
Right.
And nobody else wanted to play mini leagues. So I instead ended up playing standard against the guy where he was playing standard and I was playing my mini league. And it was like, I was in it. I was in there. We were playing the games. They were close-ish. Like, I had him down to like 5 or 6 or whatever when he beat me every single game. Like, I didn't feel like I was out of it where, but that's kind of what that was, banging my head against a brick wall.
Right.
But I was still having fun. I was still there. I could have been like, yeah, I'm done. But I didn't. I was just like, well, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him before we quit playing. I'm going to get him. And I never did. I never got him. Sad. So let's answer a question. This comes from Facebook. This isn't actually directed directly at us, but it came up in one of our Magic chat rooms, chat boards, groups, whatever you want to call it on Facebook. And it says, looking at standard for this weekend, what's the read on the metagame? And then I also want to throw in there GP Omaha this weekend. So my gut tells me that it's going to be like probably somewhere between 25 and 40% some sort of Marvel deck.
Right.
Right, Marvel's been dominating since the Pro Tour.
Debatable.
Well, it's literally won everything except for the Pro Tour, and
I haven't lost a single game to it.
And it has had, well, for big professional Magic the Gathering tournaments, Captain Travis, and like but it's won, I think, 3 GPs and has had like almost 50% of the top 8. So there's two. Well, that's just it. There's 2 big questions, right? 2 big questions. Like, 1, is it going to continue to be the dominant deck into the bannings? And 2, is Wizards of the Coast going to stay consistent and say, all right, well, this deck is X percentage in the metagame. We're going to have to ban cards. Right? Because if they don't ban it, I'm going to be pissed. Because I don't care. If they want to continue to make super powerful, strong cards in these smaller blocks, that's fine with me. I don't care. But I want you, if a deck becomes so dominant, like the Saheeli combo deck, you need to ban it. You need to ban it on time, and you need to ban it like as expected. So players can go, shit, this deck is 50% of the metagame. I better sell my cards now because they're going to ban it when it turns around to, whatever. So it's crazy. I expect him to ban it. So anyway, I believe roughly 1/3 of the deck is probably going to be that. I think you're going to have some percentage of like strategies, probably like 10%. And then I think you're going to have like the big Marty vehicle deck. I think it's going to be the weekend it tries to rear its ugly head again. So with that stuff in mind, what do you think the metagame is going to look like?
If I was there, the metagame would look like Metalwork Colossus.
That's a good card.
So, like, literally the only games that I've lost with this deck have been to, like, ever since I took out 2 of the lands, the only deck that I have lost to is another Brew. Like, the deck just shit all over black-white zombies and mono-black zombies. In the sideboard, it shuts down the Teamer Marvel deck. Just like it's not even a problem. So, I don't know, it's like, for me, so far nothing in the meta has been a problem. And I think if the Saheeli combo was still in Standard, that would be my only threat right now.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel, personally, again, everyone knows how I feel about the Saheeli combo. I like it a lot. I think that it wasn't super good. But the Saheeli combo, I did really well at one of the Modern Pro Tours the last week or 2 or something. But I don't think that it was unstoppable. And what I think ended up happening is when he took that threat out, it gave an opportunity for Marvel to be really good, where random number generators suddenly became strong because, hey, there he is. Now we can see him. It just kind of like worked out in such a way that it was, now it's really hard to interact with this strategy of let's just take a look and see if I win or not.
I mean, it's really easy to shut it down if you're playing blue or black, because you have negates and you have dispossess. So if you just don't let them get the Marvel, then you have about 5 or 6 extra turns where they have to, survive with a rogue refiner.
Right. The problem, I guess, is that if you have to rely on main decking for negates and a bunch of control spells, right? Then why don't you just like go ahead and just play the mono blue control deck and then hope to get there at the end with your blue Torrential Gearhulks. That's the word. I don't know. I've been
Yeah, because
listening
that.
to some of the other podcasts, and they're also really high on like the red blue control right now for the same reasons.
Well, that's just boring. Like, so for me, all I have mainboard for control aspects is 3 metallic rebukes.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't
in
know.
the side, I bring in 3 negates and 1 dispossess. For like if I'm playing against the teamer deck.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I guess long story short, if you're listening to this and you want to know what you think the metagame's going to be sure you have a plan for Marvel. I think personally, I think a lot of those same cards overlap with dealing with Marty vehicles,
Yeah.
and then I think you want to be sure that you can like deal with zombies or whatever out of the sideboard. I think that those decks are going to get squished by the Marvel decks.
So the
So
best way to deal with the zombie decks, besides the board wipes, and it's really really funny to me that the best way to deal with the zombie deck is battle at the bridge.
so that just gives one creature -X, right?
Right. But then you gain X life.
Okay. So you just like mill out their big lord guy?
Well, you either kill the plague belcher or you kill the lord, or if they're playing the white version, you kill the servant, and then it
Mm-hmm.
slows them down by that much until you can just find another board wipe.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fine card, and it's probably very good, but I don't know. I'm
I'm
not sure what
telling
to
you,
do.
man.
I'm still on this Conley Woods brew. I think it's really good. He's made some changes. We're streaming at a weird time today, so I noticed that he's gone live. So I'll probably bump over to his stream when we're done here and check it out some more. But I've had a lot of luck with it. I think it's attacks the metagame from an interesting angle of, oh no, look at me, I'm just a token deck. I'm just a token deck. Take 20.
Yeah. Well, for me,
Which I think is
mine,
interesting.
mine's essentially the same thing. It's
It
a
is. It's very similar in that
I'm a
regard.
dirtle deck. I'm a dirtle deck. Now die.
Right. Which I think is fun. I think is good. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to try to add some number of assault injuries to the deck. I think just makes it
To
a little
mine?
bit more. Say what?
To mine? Or to
No.
Conley's?
To my version of the Conley deck.
Oh, okay. I think
Like it
in
just
standard that
seems
deck
fun.
that card is overrated.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Do something with it.
I'm really impressed with it. I've been kind of fiddling around with it. I've got that fling deck that I think that is okay, not the greatest. It needs just a little bit more tweaking. And then I got this Conley deck that it feels good. I think like he's got 3, I think now main deck sweltering scuns. I think one of those can become an assault injury, and I think it would feel really good.
See, I took the Sweltering Suns out of my deck.
Well, but again, he's
And
been playing all this Magic Online where, again, the metagame's a little bit different.
yeah.
And that's, I think, where something to keep in mind, right? Like my metagame here is, whatever I'm playing, whatever McMahon is playing right now, and then like this smattering of little various creature decks. And then like usually the one other person is playing some sort of hardline control. And usually not blue control, reactive control. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So I don't know, I would like to see how well Conley can do at this bigger tournament. I know he's going to GP Omaha. I wish I could go. It looks like a lot of fun. It's not super far away, but it's too far away from me.
I'm gonna go to Omaha that weekend.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm super jealous. So if
I'm not playing Magic.
you're not playing Magic, Like if you're there, find Travis and say hello, rub your wiener on him.
Yeah. No, I'm going there because well, I mean, okay, so I start my vacation on Saturday, and even though Omaha is like an extra 200 miles out of the way, it's still faster to drive from Rapid City to Omaha than it is from Rapid City to Salina, just because Nebraska sucks that much. Uh, but so I wasn't like I didn't even realize that the GP was on the same weekend that I was going to be there. But I'm going to go there to see one of my sisters.
Okay.
So it's like, well, that's
So what I'm
crappy
saying,
timing.
what I'm hearing is you should you should tweet that you're going to be someplace for people who have washed out of the tournament, and you guys could like have a 5-minute hang or something. Like the 3 followers.
Yeah, if they want to do that.
Yeah, just tweet them. If you wash out at GP Omaha, tweet Travis. Turtle Power 319.
Yeah.
I've said it enough that I
Yeah.
think maybe I have it. And let him know you washed out and that you're free, and maybe he can figure out a way to do something. If he decides to look at his Twitter.
Right. Right.
Which
Well,
is unlikely.
Yeah. Like, for me, Twitter is a lot like Snapchat. I'll look at it when I'm pooping.
Okay.
Or if I don't want to stand up.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So basically, something to keep in mind is that Travis is going to be on vacation next week. Does that mean you're not going to be here this week, right?
Right. I am. I'm just going to be in Omaha. So I'm driving to Omaha on the 3rd, and then I'll leave there on the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will be making my way to Salina on the 4th/5th.
Okay.
And then that's when I'll be in. And then I'll be in Salina from that time, because there's people
maybe we just record in person.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I won't have much to talk about next week, since I'm not gonna be playing any Magic.
Oh, we're gonna have plenty to talk about next week.
Why?
We might still make room for a guest. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm hoping that we can get some drafts in while you're down. We're going to spend a bunch of time working on your bus or your van. Sorry, not a bus. Working on your van. I want to take some time in the evenings when we can and do some drafting.
Right. Well, I'm not going to say no to that, but I also have family in Kansas.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to Topeka first. Okay. So I have this whole, half-ass plan. Go to Omaha, and then go to Topeka where I have family, and then... Do I still have family in Manhattan? I don't know. I guess I'll find out. But I know I have some friends.
all I know is I'm sure we can find 8 people to draft with, a late night or whatever, early morning draft table. I'm sure we can figure it out.
Right, especially since Bud's going to be there.
That's right. Bud will be there. Cabral's volunteering himself. You and I'm pretty sure Joe is off right now. It's summertime.
If he's not, then we'll tell him to leave.
That's right. We'll just go draft where the little kids are. And then Nathan doesn't.
Yeah, we'll just go to the military school and tell him to leave.
Right. That's right. You tell that guy where your things are, and you can get some things done.
Yeah, go do a sit-up or something.
Right. Sit-ups. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Just one.
But I guess it kind of brings me to my second question here, right? I've been looking to do more streaming of Magic specifically, but at the same time, I'd like to do some more play testing. So I'm trying to figure out, do I go ahead and stream on Moto, right?
Yeah.
I did a fundraiser this week. Didn't go as well as I had hoped. With the idea that I would be buying into a standard Magic deck on Moto. Okay. We didn't quite hit the goal that I was looking for. So now, because I was hoping to buy the Conley deck on Moto, because I like it. I think it feels good. Not a lot of cards rotate. A lot of cards do rotate, but not all the cards rotate. So I feel like it's got a solid bones to it for post rotation to kind of fiddle with. But I'm short. So now I'm wondering, do I take my laptop? Do I get some cans? Do I use some PVC pipe and set up like the ability for me to go stream at the arena after hours with like a couple of cameras and like some tablets or whatever for keeping up with the chat and just do that? Like, is that interesting? Do you guys want to see that? Am I just better off going ahead and just buying a budget deck and streaming on Magic Online? Like, let me know. Travis, what do you think? People in the chat room, what do you think?
So what do I think right now?
What do you think I should do for streaming more Magic?
I think streaming at the shop would be good, especially if there's other people there that could also be involved.
Well, what I'd probably do is I'd make like a streaming like contraption that I would put in my office, and then when I go to stream, I would pull it out, set it down, stream it.
Right.
And then anybody who wanted to sit there could stream.
So, yeah, and like my whole thing with streamers is if they're not interesting, then I'm not going to watch it.
Sure.
Like, I don't care if I really love what they're doing. If they aren't interactive and they aren't interesting, then I'm not going to watch them. It's the same thing with like YouTube videos and like even, the pro tours. Like, well, this isn't interesting to me. Why do I want to watch this? Like, what's my incentive to like give you views?
This is what I feel like we should do during the pro tour. We should restream it, but we should go over the overlay over the top, kind of like Mystery Science 3000 or whatever.
Right.
Except we call it Two Trolls Magic 3000 or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'd be game with that.
So.
But so it's like another thing, with the streamers, there was randomly the other night when I was, just packing up all my Magic stuff, getting ready to come down there and everything, there was I was like, all right, maybe I'll go on Twitch and see what's going on. And there was this one that popped up, Mario 64. I'm like, oh, hell, I haven't seen this game in forever. So I decided to watch it, or, to have it on the background while I was, doing stuff with my Magic cards. And they were doing a power hour and seeing who could get to the end, like who could get the most stars, like in that hour. So one of the rules is every time you got a star, you had to take a drink. And there was like 4 people playing simultaneously. Oh my God, it was like one of the funniest streams that I've ever watched. And I stopped doing what I was doing just simply because they were more interesting than just background noise.
Right. Well, I like to think that my streams are a little bit more interesting than that. Clearly, if you're listening to this podcast or watching this video and you've been watching me play Factorio or DDO all week, like I started re-streaming to as Twitch, and my viewership has grown quite a bit, especially on YouTube.
Right.
I have a new individual who just started watching me this last week, wanting to know what's going on with this podcast. So this is a video podcast about Magic Gathering. This is my co-host Travis. Woo! And basically we're shooting some shit about Magic, and then we're going to turn this into an audio podcast for download later. So I mean, I like to think that people enjoy the stream. Like, I'm pretty interactive. I talk with people. We do a lot of fun stuff. But at the same time, like, I'm not sitting around drinking to be that guy.
Right. Well, see, and I wouldn't even necessarily say that the drinking was what was the entertaining part. It was just the interactions with each other.
Right.
And, like, it was just nonstop, like, joke to joke to joke to joke, like, type of thing.
Yeah, I will admit a lot of my favorite streams to be part of are the ones where I have people in on the chat, like over voice or whatever, and we're giving each other a hard time or having a good time.
Right. Well, see, and then
what would make it so much fun for us to do the pro tour.
Yeah. Just like mute them entirely.
Well, I figured we just turn them down and then we just talk over them the whole time. Or maybe I have the audio running just to my earbuds so I can hear what's going on.
Yeah. So, okay, so is GP Omaha going to be
Broadcast?
streamed?
I'm not sure, probably. Like most of the US ones are, but I don't know.
Okay, so if it is broadcast or whatever, you should like record it. And then when I show up, then we do that first one and then we just put it on YouTube.
All right. Okay, we'll try it.
Yeah, so we can try it and then, and we'll be in the same room together, so it's going to be easier for us to interact.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll try it. We'll see what happens. Oh my goodness, so many plants. Maybe that'll be next week's episode.
Oh, just the Mystery Science Theater?
Yeah, Mystery.
Not even talking about trolling things, just trolling the actual GP.
Yes, and the listeners. What are they doing? They're just like, I'm like, sync this up with whatever minute of the thing.
Yeah.
All right. I just have two other quick notes here. First of all, I'm trying to figure out Patreon rewards. If you have suggestions, let me know. I'd like to get that going on. And also, the woman who's doing the T-shirt designs for us has been having some technical difficulties with her computer. I'm on her man about getting her shit fixed. So hopefully, cross our fingers, we're going to have T-shirts in a couple of weeks. I would love to have a prototype to send back with Travis so he can wear at the not GPs. But, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, thanks you for watching. I'm Samus. He's Travis. You can check out this and all past episodes of this podcast at samusgarobo.com. You can check out twitter.com/samusgarobo. You can check out twitter.com/turtlepower319 to reach Travis. You can watch this episode live and a lot of the past episodes at youtube.com/samusgarobo. You can check out my various streams. I would like to start playing more Magic. Again, I don't know if I want to do paper streams or if I want to do MTGO streams. I like your feedback. The chat has given me a bunch of feedback I'm going to consider. Probably never going to buy a commander deck on Moto. If someone wants to give me one, I'll play it. But I'm not buying a commander deck on Moto. That's like taking rusty nails, nailing my cock to the chair, and then standing up and trying to move the chair around with the rusty nails on my cock. Like, I'm not there.
Does the chair have wheels?
No. The chair is actually a concrete chair.
Is it also bolted to the ground?
No. You could drag it. You could drag it, but it weighs like 6,000 pounds.
Okay, well, number one, I don't think you understand how much concrete weighs. unless this chair is like the size of a building. In which case,
specifically, I'm nailed to.
Why would you not just nail your dick to a building?
I mean, I would, but how can I get my balls up there? I can't. I'm not that agile. I can't like lay spread eagle.
Okay, well, how are you going to get it on a chair that size?
I'm using the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, well, see, that is bolted to the ground because I'm pretty sure someone would have tried to steal it by now.
The Lincoln Memorial.
That thing is awesome.
Someone steals the Lincoln Memorial. Shenanigans.
Okay, look, somebody stole like 20 million gallons of maple syrup in Canada. I'm pretty sure that they could steal the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes, so I'm pretty sure they solved that mystery on Sherlock, which I think is awesome. That a whole episode of Sherlock was devoted to that particular crime.
That's beautiful.
What it turns out in Sherlock is they brought it in and then they barreled it up and they gave it to like this gang and they all split up, but they killed everyone underneath the top 10 guys or whatever. So each of the 10 guys each had like 100,000 gallons of maple syrup that they were selling illegally to like diners and stuff across New York State. And they just do it for like, hey man, you need some more maple syrup? Like, hey, come on, I'll get you some good stuff. And that's all they did with it.
What? Why is that your Canadian accent?
That wasn't my Canadian accent. That's my Brooklyn accent.
Oh,
like my Canadian accent's like, hey, no. Sorry about that.
Hey.
Sorry about that. About that, I don't know what happened to my maple syrup. Mother beaver.
Oh man,
About
so you went from like Jamaican Brooklyn to Downsy Canadian.
Hey, look, I only know so many
Jeez.
accents. I don't know that many. I'm
And they're
not.
all bad.
Oh yeah, duh. Everything I do is bad right now.
Yeah.
Everything. You should see me sharpen a pencil. It's very awkward.
Okay, do it.
I don't have a
We have
pencil
the cameras
sharpener,
on. Oh.
nor can I get my penis in there. So this week's game, we're going to do another reprint this. So Travis, what he reprinted into the standard metagame, let's say from Legacy or something like that.
Oh, why Legacy? That's way far back.
Because that gives you the biggest pool. Like, the first thing that comes to my
technically-
mind is Firebolt, or Fire Blast, right? Sacrifice 2 mountains, do 4 damage.
See, the first thing that comes to my mind is like contaminated ground.
Didn't they just... Oh no, they have a different version of contaminated ground, right? Every time you tap a land, you take some damage.
Yeah, yeah, that's contaminated ground.
Yeah, they have what, like Zuzu the Punisher or some S.
Well, yeah, Zozu the Punisher. That's whenever a land goes to the graveyard. But contaminated ground, it's like it's an enchantment. It makes it into a swamp, and then when it's tapped, they lose 2 life.
Yeah, I feel like we have that. And well, not exactly like that, but something close.
In standard?
Maybe.
Because the closest that I know from it is Dissension. Or no.
Again, not exactly like that, but close.
Like, the one from Return to Ravnica, I think it was the second set with the gate, or the arch thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just take
I
your
want
word
that
for
back because it's really funny to make people go
take
off
damage
mana.
from using that lands.
Well, not only that, but also like just shut down whatever land it was. It's like, oh, look at me, I have a lumbering falls. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, you have a swamp.
Good luck using it. It's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, so away from the trolling nature of our podcast, because that's, you continue to stay troll mode, and I think of like good cards.
Yeah, no, that's not me.
I know that's why I have you. You're here to keep me on the correct noble path of the long nosed troll. I just want to have these efficient removal spells again.
Oh, you mean like Fatal Push?
I mean, the thing, Fatal Push, I guess I also want it to be reach. Like, I want good burn spells. Like, and I want ones like Sonic Blast.
You mean like Shock? Ooh, Sonic Blast would be good.
Shock's fine. Sonic Blast, like, I would love to have, I would die again for Stoke the Flames.
What about Unlicensed Disintegration?
It's okay. I don't like the stipulation of you need to have an artifact to do the 3 damage. But it's a good card.
That's a great stipulation.
I mean,
especially if you're playing like Walking Ballistas. Like, all right, I guess.
Would it be worth it
in
your mind to play? What's the red black spell that you like do 3 damage and then they discard 2 cards? Lightning something? Like Lightning?
Yeah, it's
like
just Lightning.
Lightning plus that card in Modern, like as a theme. Is there a way that could be abusive? Like for the other card?
Yeah, especially since there's like way better artifacts in Modern.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like you could I wouldn't necessarily go full affinity, but if you you could do some sort of like artifact control in Modern.
That sounds cool. And
yeah,
you could have an
so
artifact
another thing.
You could do the bridge. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So it was something that kind of hit me the other day, but in September, I mean, actually, right now you could still do it. You can have an entire red-black mid-range promo deck right now.
Yeah, it's really close.
No. It is entirely... You can do it. Like 100%.
Okay. I believe
because, you have Magma Spray. That was a promo.
Right.
You have Unlicensed Disintegration, Incendiary Flow, Fiery Temper, Radiant Flames.
So not a very good deck.
The Glory... No, it's a control deck.
Okay. Glorybringer.
Glorybringer. What's that black one? The Essence...
Oh, the Essence Drain one?
Yeah, the Essence Extraction?
Yeah, I think it's
something like that. Whatever it is. But...
I never get Magic card names right, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, you're right. I agree with you.
I know.
Could do that. I agree. But how about like just regular old Disenchant? Can we get a regular old Disenchant back?
Well, no, because now we need to pay one more and gain 2 life.
I don't need that. I just want my Disenchant back.
Yeah, but now you can gain 2 life.
That's okay.
Wait, isn't that what the green card is?
No, the green card...
Yeah. It costs a colorless and a green, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and cycle.
No, it doesn't destroy an enchantment.
Oh.
Just an artifact.
Okay. Close enough.
It's very similar.
There's not really many enchantments that you need to worry about in Standard right now.
Well, that's just it. I think they're making a comeback. Like, I think a white enchantment-based deck is actually very strong right now. You have Cast Out. You have the one that exiles a creature at instant speed.
Cast Out?
The other one that does it. It's like white.
Stasis Snare.
Stasis Snare. There's another one that does something kind of similar. And obviously you have pacifism type effect with the lock it down and they could sacrifice it for 2 mana. Like, you have good white.
The Delta Airlines effect.
So I don't know. You just need something to like return enchantments and you're golden.
I want them to reprint Karma.
Destroy all swamps?
Is that what it did? Isn't that the one that made you take damage for having a bunch of swamps?
Maybe.
I can't remember. I just know I hate lands, and I think it's funny when they're destroyed.
AKA Mr. Broomeramos deck.
Yeah. I don't even want to play them. I just want to throw them at you. I'm the worst American. Troll on everybody.
Troll on everybody.